Today on the channel from AEW Unmatched Series 4, we got Corazón de León, Chris Jericho.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Unmatched unboxing and review. And today from Series 4 and the Luminaries, we've got Corazón de León, Chris Jericho. But remember, for all your AEW wrestling figure needs and WWE wrestling figure needs, to hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save 10%, and that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly where I got these guys from. Is AEW Unmatched Series 4 is finally here, a set that a lot of people have been looking forward to, especially myself, as I really do love the Luminaries idea. If you guys know, I'm just a classics guy, and I love the idea of getting classic characters and maybe some throwback stuff. And Chris Jericho is a perfect example. As Chris Jericho been around a long time. Many different toy lines, Toy Biz, Jakks, Mattel, Jazzwares. I'm probably missing some along the way, but very cool because guess what? We've got a ton of Chris Jerichos over the last couple of years. Too many, a lot of people would say, but this is something different. This is a throwback to his time in Mexico. You can even really count this as a little bit of his early ECW beginnings. Chris Jericho. So man, I'm here for this one all day long. This is something I'm interested in, and I can't wait to see what future Luminaries we receive in the AEW Unmatched waves. We do know Owen Hart is coming for sure, but we'd love some other guys, some throwbacks, maybe some other classic guys, and we'll see if we do ever truly get that classic superstars back with Jazzwares. Will that happen? It was long rumored for pretty hot and heavy for a little bit, and then it kind of fizzled out and haven't heard a lot since. But as of right now, we're just going to have to enjoy some Luminaries. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So let's get down to it. Let's see what old Corazón de León is up to here. Packaging-wise, AEW Unmatched packaging. I gotta be honest, I really do like the Unraveled packaging, but there's just something special about the Unmatched, and then the Luminaries take it even a little bit step farther. But really cool, I do love this blue color right here. Of course, you got the AEW logo. Look at that old school glamour shot. Look at that old whippersnapper right there. Got Jericho in the package. It says Luminaries Collection down below, 8 and up. Series 4, he is number 24 in the series, and one thing I do notice here is no AEW Upper Deck cards here. Not sure exactly what's going on with that. Jazzwares, Jeremy Padawer has said, well, we didn't promise every package would have them, so I think that's kind of an easy way out. Honestly, they should all be in there. If that's what they're going to do, they can't pick and choose. We've seen some Canadian ones where things have been kind of crossed out. We've seen them with no cards. We've seen them with cards. I don't like that Russian roulette of the cards because if it ends up being the case, the first people that do pre-order do not get cards. I can see a lot of people saying, well, I don't want to be in the first round of pre-orders because I want cards with mine. I get Jeremy has said in Twitter, I believe it was, that, oh, it's making more collectors. You know, you need 2 versions of this Jericho, one with the cards, one without if you're a min-on-card guy. I don't think that's a good business strategy. I think that's just going to make a lot of fans upset. And honestly, for me, I'm not a big card guy, but guess what? I'd like to have a pack of cards. It's a free throw-in, and guess what? You can sell those cards, make at least a couple dollars back. I mean, so a dangerous game they're walking with these Upper Deck cards. I hope they get that figured out and get a consistent system and at least some consistent messaging out there to the buying public. But there's Jericho, like I said, on the side. Number 24, Series 4, All Elite logo. And then you got that young whippersnapper picture right there again. He is H on the bottom here. So H, as we know, every package of Unrivaled Unmatched do spell something out. This Series 4 spells out hardcore if you have all the figures lined up together, which is a cool little Easter egg. AEW, of course. And there it is, Jericho on the back. Got an old classic shot, got his autograph. Then you got the cross-sell, and of course, you guys know by now, we're unboxing every single one of these here on the channel. And at the end of the week, after all are done, we're going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell, all that kind of fun stuff. But there it is, there's the back. Let's see if it says anything about Jericho here. It doesn't say anything. It just says Corazón de León, Chris Jericho. Doesn't say what gear this is from. Doesn't give us really any kind of details. But it does tell us to watch AEW Dynamite. So it gives us a little bit of stuff there. But let's get him out of the package here. Let's get the old Jericho out. See what's going on. See what all the fuss is about. And I got an interesting comparison later on in the video. So stay tuned for that as well. Got him out. There's the packaging. See you later up high. Off to the races. How about a little plastic prison for Chris Jericho? No accessories, nothing going on, just a jacket here. But there he is in the plastic prison. And we're going to pop him out and see you later up high. Once again, we're off to the races. All right, we got Jericho in hand. Now, this is totally different. Now, the head sculpt's the first thing I notice on this bad boy, and it is a very interesting looking head sculpt. It's very soft in the features. You can tell it's definitely different than like the True Effects or whatever they're calling it that they make the current guys with. They had to get a picture, kind of age it, do all that kind of stuff, so it definitely feels a little different. Almost Barbie doll-esque, Ken doll-esque a little bit. But I think I would know who this is. I always say that's the good litmus test. Somebody pop this head off, they give it to you. Who is this? I feel like I could say, oh, that's a young Chris Jericho. But I'm not sure everybody could do that, and I think I can. I'm not 100%. But definitely younger Chris Jericho. Does fit the packaging design. It does look like him enough. I don't know. It looks good to me. Very, very long, blonde, wavy hair with Jericho. I think Jericho wishes he still had this hair going on. But definitely long, wavy, blonde hair. Just very kind of whited out, very pale skin, kind of like a Barbie doll, shine to it a little bit, and then of course the hair, very, very perfect. So we do got a good head. It's good enough. It works for me. It works for me. We do get the Polly Pocket style jacket here, but I will say this is a little thinner material, as we're very used and accustomed to some of the Mattel ones and even some of the Jazzwares ones that really feel very bulky. This does not. This feels a little bit lighter than normal. It's a little lighter plastic material. So we do notice that on it. It does clasp right there in the front. We got a couple of designs up front on the jacket as well. Now, I will say the paint kind of on right up on here. There's a show right here. Right up on here. I could see this rubbing off. So it's already kind of a little paint smudged on mine. I don't think that paint is on there real strong. So I think a kid or somebody playing, they're going to rub that off pretty easily. We do got tassels going all over. Now, the funny thing about the tassels, then it matches in the back as well. This looks very crude and cheap, maybe is the word, but really this is how it was back in the day. A lot of these jackets, obviously Chris Jericho spends a heck of a lot more money on jackets and ring gear than he did back in this time. So it's almost a touch to the past, because things weren't always millionaire lifestyle for Chris Jericho. Everybody starts from somewhere, and this is definitely his beginnings, his start. This jacket might look cheap, but it's probably true to form is how I'm going, and that's how I'm justifying it in my mind. But you got some interesting colors, just very good. It would be interesting if this was soft goods and these were all streakers going down. That'd be a very interesting thing. I'm going to take this jacket off, and usually I pull the hands off because usually that makes the jacket go off easier. Yeah, pro tip of the day right there, guys. We're going to pull this off, and it's not the hardest to get off. And we got that right there. And then I'm going to pop these hands back on. Now, speaking of hands, no extra hands, nothing like that. That is unfortunate, because unfortunately Jericho does not have a fist, and that's keeping track on a long story tradition of the Jazzwares figures of very rarely giving us fists, which is always disappointing for somebody like me. You guys know I love fists. But there's enough fists in your fodder pile, I think, by now that maybe you can find a matching skin tone to make this happen, so you take what you can get at this point. But the articulation seems to be all the same with the AEW. You got the big hula hoop. The head is removable, of course. You get the shoulders up, down, all around. You get the bicep cut. You get the double jointed elbows. Hands removable. We do still got the big pins here. I'm waiting for the transition. It looks like we're going to get transition to pinless joints maybe in the fall, early next year. Fingers crossed that happens. I got to think they have to keep track with Mattel, Marvel Legends, everybody else, because at this point they really are an eyesight on some of these figures, at least to me. You do get the waist articulation. You do get big stretch here. You got a big wave going on. He can get really that far. Pretty good right there. Thigh cut. Yes, we got a very good hidden thigh cut going on there. Very good. Double jointed knees, of course, pins. You got the knee pads going down. You got the boot cut. You got the ankle rockers. Looks really good. He does have lion down on his shin guards here. That is a nice touch. And then you got a little designs of lions on his trunk. Says lion on the side as well. One thing I see that I do not like right here is kind of how the cords of his gear are supposed to be hanging down onto his leg. It's sculpted in. I think that'd be better not there at all, or maybe soft goods. It just looks a little strange, especially if you move that thigh cut. It's not going to line up. It'll look very strange. But all in all, for what this is, this ain't so bad. I'm glad we got a Jericho that's not just run-of-the-mill Jericho. We've gotten so many of those over the last 2 years, whatever it's been since AEW figures started hitting. This at least feels different being in the Luminary line. Let's see, does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Of course, they do have their AEW stands out now. And what do you know? He fits like a glove on that. Truly a magical experience. We needed these stands for so long. I'm so happy they are here. But not bad. All in all, this Chris Jericho is worth the pickup. I got a few gripes here and there, but it's all right for what it is. And especially if you're a Chris Jericho diehard, you need something like this in your collection. And then where we go back, I said, what is the closest example in my collection to this Chris Jericho? Well, I went all the way back to Jax, went all the way back to the Ruthless Aggression days, and I went to the best of WCW Chris Jericho. I mean, this is just a few years later, but a lot of similarities between these two. But I thought that was a really cool comparison to do. You guys know I love my Ruthless Aggression style figures, and one of these days I'm going to get a mint-on card set of the best of WCW Jax figures. I'm playing the long game on that. I'll get to them eventually. But a cool comparison between these two, something to kind of bounce off between. But very, very cool to get Chris Jericho. A throwback Mexico, early ECW Jericho after all these years. I think that's just really fun for the collectors out there. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? You all in on this Jericho? You all out on this Jericho? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We're unboxing the whole wave, plus rankings at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for those. You won't want to miss a video. And, of course, Patreon, where you can get all the videos much earlier than traditional YouTube. Exclusive content, bonus content, giveaways. A lot of fun over there on the Patreon. And, of course, best of all, you get to support the channel. And then you can also hit me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for Chris Jericho, Corazón de León, I am Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.